If an average person befriends a convicted sex offender, the fallout is immediate. They lose their job, their social standing collapses, and their community shuns them. In the world of ordinary citizens, proximity to a predator is an unavoidable warning sign. For the billionaire class, these social physics stop working. Associating with that same offender is frequently reframed as high-level networking or a philanthropic opportunity. Jeffrey Epstein serves as the ultimate test case for this exact divide. Even after his conviction, he remained deeply embedded in the highest social circles, proving that elite status can provide a form of social immunity. These disparate outcomes reveal a hidden set of rules, an entirely different moral universe, engineered to protect those with enough capital to bypass standard scrutiny. We can define this group as the Epstein Class, a network of elites, politicians, and business leaders who moved in the same social and professional orbits as Epstein for decades. This isn't about alleging a single criminal cabal. It is about a culture of comfort. Figures in this class continued to do business and attend gatherings with a man who was already a convicted offender. The names appearing in flight logs and visitor records include some of the world's most powerful people, ranging from figures like Bill Gates to Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. Their presence provided the prestige Epstein needed to operate. Extreme wealth functions like a gravitational field. When you accumulate enough of it, the reality around you starts to bend. Morality distorts, and the systems of justice designed to hold people accountable warp out of shape. Understanding Epstein requires us to move past conspiracy theories and instead dissect the specific architecture of immunity that allows power to insulate itself. The first layer of this architecture is financial. High net worth individuals physically and legally outsource their personal risk to teams of lawyers, publicists, and NDAs. NDAs, or non-disclosure agreements, are legal contracts used to buy silence and prevent damaging information from becoming public. This environment changes the internal calculus of the individual. The primary question shifts from, "Is this right?" to, "Can I get away with this?" Epstein thrived by exploiting this sense of invincibility. He surrounded himself with people who already believed that the normal rules of society applied only to others. At the center of this layer, extreme power destroys the expectation of consequences. The second layer is the social shield. Exclusive environments like charity galas and private retreats provide the perfect stage for reputation laundering. Inside these velvet ropes, proximity to danger is constantly reframed. Predators are described as eccentric, and red flags are dismissed as complexity, grave. This shielded environment depends on steep power dynamics. When elite networks protect their own image, they leave vulnerable populations, those with no wealth or connections, entirely exposed to exploitation. In this world, prestige acts as a physical shield. It overrides the warnings that would lead to an immediate investigation for any average citizen. Finally, there is the institutional layer. Agencies and media outlets are theoretically designed to interrupt abuse and protect the public interest, but the presence of vast wealth and high-level political connections often paralyzes these systems. Investigations into the elite tier often stall, leaving officials like Attorney General Merrick Garland to answer for decades of institutional failure. Institutional workers face a high cost for curiosity. Challenging a member of the elite class puts their careers, their funding, and their professional access at risk. This creates a predictable life cycle of failure. Warnings are downgraded to whispers, files are buried, investigations are delayed until the public's attention moves elsewhere. In most cases, this de facto protection stems from systemic cowardice rather than a grand, coordinated conspiracy. The Epstein case acts as a mirror for modern America. It reflects a justice system that filters consequences through class and influence. We see two tiers of reality, one where the wealthy receive discretion and time, and another where the vulnerable are ignored. This unequal treatment is the direct cause of the current collapse in public trust. When people see the law bend for the powerful, they stop believing the system is designed for them. Accountability fails the moment a crime is allowed to continue simply because of the perpetrator's bank account. Dismantling this architecture requires a shift toward progressive populism, the belief that power must be accountable to ordinary people, not insulated by elite networks. The primary weapon is radical transparency. It demands institutions operate in sunlight, ending sealed records and closed investigations. Secrecy is the oxygen of abuse. Predators like Epstein cannot operate for decades without the cover of institutional darkness. To prevent the next Epstein Class, we must build a system where power without transparency is no longer given permission to exist. Accountability must be a requirement, not an option for the few.